Hey guys, EzraTime again here. Welcome back to another movie review. And on today's video, we're going to be reviewing a Tekken movie, which is probably unexpected for all of you. But I honestly kind of get hyped for Tekken 8, even though again it's another scenario where I can't play the game. Kind of like Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, where I'm hyped to see that game, but I can't play it, But I just keep making videos about it because I love them. I want to talk about them. So I think the best way for me to tackle some Tekken content in a way, again, this is not gonna be me like reviewing like many Tekken content in the future, but I think for the movie, I feel like I could do that, because that's what I do sometime in the channel. So I want to review Tekken Blood Vengeance, which is a CGI movie that was released in 2011. This movie was actually in production for a long time, I guess, or it was planned for a long time before the live action Tekken even released, So yeah. So for Tekken Blood of Vengeance, is it a good movie? No. Let me explain why. No, there is some good parts about the movie, but there's also some really bad part about the movie itself, But like usual, I'm gonna tell you guys the synopsis of this movie, and then we're gonna get to the good part about the movie and the bad part. Okay? So, for the story for this movie, we are following Ling Xiaoyu and this robot named Alisa Boskonovich, which is a Russian robot apparently. So these two are supposedly the main character of the movie, but I gotta tell you guys, they don't feel like the main character. Maybe on the first half they do kind of feel like the main character, but that kind of like drops by the second half, because you got the Mishima family, I think, right? Because you got Jin, Kazuya, and the other guy that also, oh, Heihachi, that's his name. So Jin, Kazuya, and Heihachi becoming the main character in the third act, and that pretty much like they become the best part of the movie. The third act is actually quite nice, when you see the Mishima family fighting each other. Like that was super entertaining to watch. I think the fight scene is great, the directing is great, the animation, the CGI are fantastic, man. Like holy hell, So yeah, that was great. When Jin Kazama becoming the main character in the third act, because Ling Xiaoyu and Alisa barely does anything in the end, and I guess Alisa does something where she launches her arm, to Heihachi, but after that, it's like yeah, she doesn't do much, So it's like that's why I think the decision to making Xiaoyu and Alisa like the main character is like weird to me, But you do get the good parts where Mishima family fight each other, and I think that's like the best part of the movie. And on top of that, you also got to see a fight scene between Anna Williams and Nina Williams in the beginning of the movie. I think that was also quite good, Like I think I like that fight, and I really wish that we get to see the second round of the fight, because like they have this one scene where Anna is like storming the building, and then Nina also like storming the same building. And then it seems like we are going to see like Nina and versus Anna fight round two, but that never happened. It's like it happens off screen, because the last after the setup, we got back to them again, and then they just like on the ground, like the fight is already over. So I'm just like, well, that's kind of disappointing. Like you can just like set up like a cool fight scene in the beginning of the movie, and then on the second half of the movie you get to see Nina and Anna meet again face to face about to fight, and then you just like cut away, and then you cut back to the scene, it is already over. Like what? Like don't do that, man. I guess they ran out of budget maybe, because I feel like this movie is a very very good looking movie, and the final fight scene is really epic in my opinion. So that's probably where their budget went, and that's why I think we didn't get to see Nina versus Anna round two in that house. So it's like yeah, I mean it's kind of disappointing, man. Like set up and then done. You don't even see the fight. So it's like all right, But yeah, besides that, yeah, I guess that's the positive part about the movie. Like the fight scene in the end is cool. Anna and Nina are cool. The animation, the CGI are cool. But besides that, yeah, nothing much. So the bad part of this movie, like I said before, Xiaoyu and Alisa as the main character are really weird, because in the end they barely does anything, and the character doesn't have a large impact of the story, because they have this new character, like original character named Shin, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Shin Kamiya. So Shin Kamiya was like an original character that was created for this movie, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, his character is also basically nothing. Like he's part of the experiment, and then in the end, he's just using himself to lure the Mishima family together, and then that's it. So I'm like, okay, well, we don't need Xiaoyu and Alicia then, because like we just need to follow Shin, and then we finally get to the ending of the movie. Because like the ending of the movie happened because of Shin's plan, and not because Xiaoyu or Alicia's plan. Xiaoyu and Alicia does some research, but that's about it. It seems like they're just there to basically as an exposition, and then that's it. And then Shin, this original character, is the one that actually got us to the third act. So I'm just like, why don't we just follow him to the third act? Like why did we follow Xiaoyu and Alicia this whole time? Like they barely matters in the story. So yeah, that was weird. Like I think the characters of this movie doesn't really wasn't really memorable, I guess. Like Ling Xiaoyuan and Alisa, at first I was interested to see their dynamic together, and they have some good chemistry together, but at the same time they barely matters in the story, so that was really disappointing. And yeah, the whole story itself is just like super convoluted sometimes. Like it's just like, man, like you are juggling some small characters. Like the characters in this movie is not that many, because I know Tekken has a lot of characters, but this movie has a small cast of character, and then yet it still didn't manage to tell a cohesive storytelling, which is like mind-blowing for me. And I don't know why didn't they just like make a movie focusing on Jin and Kazuya? Just make the two of them like the main protagonist and the main antagonist. Just do that. Because eventually the movie headed to that direction anyway. At the end of the day, it's about the Mishima conflict. It's about Jin, Kazuya, and Heihachi fighting each other. So it's like, okay, like why don't you just make the three of them the main character of the movie, which eventually lead to the third act. That's it. Like the whole movie could just be about Jin try to find Shin, and then that's it. And then you get to the exact same spot of the third act of the movie. Like you could do that, but for some reason they didn't. They focusing on Ling Xiaoyu and Alisa for some reason, even though they barely do anything in the third act. Except Alisa do some small things, but that's it. Like, it doesn't really matter in my opinion. So it's like, yeah, it's a bizarre decision to make the two of them the main character, even though they don't really matter. So yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, I kind of like the movie. I like the animation. I like the Mishima family, to be honest. Like the fight scene in the end was really cool. I also like Nina Williams and Anna Williams fight there in the beginning, and hopefully, like I really wish we get to see like a round 2 with those two characters. But I guess again, maybe they ran out of budget, and that's why we don't get to see the fight. So that was disappointing. But yeah, besides that, I don't know, man. I wish that they could just cut Ling Xiaoyu and Alisa and then give their budget to Nina and Anna, round 2 fight. Like I would love to see like a round 2 fight with these two characters in this movie. Because they set that up. There is a setup for that. So I really wish they could just do that. Instead of just like wasting their budget and time to Ling Xiaoyu and Alisa, because they barely matters. So yeah. I guess that's my review for Tekken Blood Vengeance, guys. Again, it's not the worst movie ever, because I definitely see some worst movie in my life, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, it is kind of disappointing. Like at the end of the day, it's like a decent movie, but it's not good. Like it's just not great. But there is some redeeming qualities. Especially if you are a Tekken fan, that maybe you are going to like this movie. Because they has some cool fights in the end. So I think it's enough to please some Tekken fan. I mean, it definitely pleased me. Like, I'm not exactly a big Tekken fan, but I love the final fight scene. I think that was quite epic. So yeah. So that's my review for Tekken Blood Vengeance, guys. So let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys think about Tekken Blood Vengeance? Like if you are a Tekken fan, like, do you guys love this movie or do you guys hate the movie? Like, what is your favorite part about the movie, and what part that you didn't like about the movie? So let me know in the comment section below about all of that, and because I'm interested to listen about that. And if you guys enjoyed this review, then make sure guys leave a like, subscribe, share videos, usual stuff, comments below, and stay tuned for more reviews in the future, guys. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see you guys in the next one then. Bye.